I love what you're doing. This is what I do. Maybe we can hop on a call. And that's where you can kind of lead them down your sales funnel.
Especially those first days, like if you were helping someone entrepreneur sit down with the first week being a full-time entrepreneur, what's some of the things that you'd help them prioritize?
I think one of the first things you need to prioritize is how am I actually going to land clients? How am I going to land business? How am I going to get sales? That's obviously very important. You need to make sure that you have a smooth onboarding process so that when someone says yes, you actually know how you're going to handle that sale. What does it look like? How do you reaffirm that decision? How do you let them know what's happening next? How do you deliver what's happening next? How much of that can you automate? How much of that needs a hand-to-hand touch, right? One of the things that I learned early on when I was creating my podcast launch is I would say like, okay, you're going to get, 5 meetings, right? And what I found was that people didn't necessarily need 5 meetings. There was a lot of the stuff that was happening in the meetings that wasn't really necessary. Like these frequently asked questions that were happening. How can I automate that? How can I answer the frequently asked questions before we get on the call? Because they don't want to waste time on the call talking about something they could have read a 2-minute note, right? And then, then of course you need to figure out the deliverables. How do I deliver it? How do I deliver it at scale? How can I remove myself from that deliverables part and again, outsource the rest of it either to AI, automation, and or human power, which by the way, I don't know how deep you want to get into this. AI has completely changed everything. But one of the biggest problems that I had historically in the agency was with margins and profit margins, because it's very expensive to hire people that can write really well.
Yeah.
It's expensive. It's just hard. Most people can't write very well. Even for, Americans can't write very well. God forbid someone where English is maybe a second language. But AI, can take an average writer or a below average writer or actually a crappy writer and make them pretty proficient, make them quite proficient. And so that's one of the things that's really exciting to me is looking at how does AI not only empower me, but how can AI empower my team and take them from a level 2 skill to a level 6, 7, or 8 skill. And that to me is a really exciting thing that's happening in the industry right now.
What tools are you using specifically right now? Mostly ChatGPT, or is there other ones that you're using as well?
ChatGPT is obviously a great one. If I had one piece of advice, one takeaway for everyone, use ChatGPT for 15 minutes a day. Okay. If you walk away from this nothing, use ChatGPT for 15 minutes a day to ask it questions, to work through some of your problems, your struggles. You'll be shocked. So ChatGPT is a great one. We use Swell, is a great program for show notes and writing and turning audio into text. That's a great one. For Zoom calls, I'm using a program called Avoma. It's a great AI note taker. That one's cool. We're using programs like CapCut and Video.ai for creating clips and scaling our video production. I've been experimenting with a program called Streak, which is an AI tool for organizing your email inbox. What else? There's so many. Those are a lot of my favorites. I've really liked Zapier as well. Zapier is not necessarily an AI tool. It's an automation tool. It connects different softwares together that don't normally talk. But Zapier is extremely powerful because once you start automating AI into your workflows, it's really tremendous what you can accomplish. I'll give you an example. Is that cool if I give you
absolutely.
Example? So one of the cool things you can do, this was shared. I run a pro group, the After Hours Entrepreneur Pro group. We have a lot of brilliant minds in there that are all sharing ideas. And, someone tries out an AI tool, they bring it to the group. They're like, holy crap, this worked. I'm like, holy crap, that's amazing. So anyway, one of the members in the group shared this idea of a blog, writing blogs is a marketing tool. Right. And so this is the strategy. I'm going to lay it down top to finish. What you do is you identify who is my perfect client, who's somebody that I'd like to collaborate with, who's someone that I want to develop a relationship with. Right. You find them on LinkedIn, let's say, and you reach out to them and you say, hey, love what you do. I'd love to feature you on my website. Would you please take 3 minutes, fill out this Google form, and I would love to feature you, your company, your website on my website in a blog. Okay. 90% of people are gonna be like, cool, that sounds great. I'd love to be featured. It's free press, right? 3 minutes, cool, I got you.
Yeah.
So they fill out this form, this Google form. Zapier sends it over to ChatGPT. ChatGPT writes the entire blog article based on the criteria that was input into that form. This is all automated, completely automated. It creates a new Google folder in wherever you want to organize your folder. You could do some Dropbox. I use Google, and then it'll also write it all out into a Google Doc. Next, you or one of your team members that you've hired from overseas, where 20 cents there is worth $1 where we live, so you can get a lot of value for your dollar. They take that data, they put it into your WordPress site, and then you reach out to the person on the back and you say, hey, it's live. I'd love for you to share it. I love what you're doing. This is what I do. Maybe we can hop on a call. And that's where you can kind of lead them down your sales funnel from being a cold lead to a warm lead to hot, and so on and so forth. So anyway, that's a way that's basically infinitely scalable. And it's a great way of generating relationships.
Man, that's super, super creative, and like creating a blog or the time, and especially coming up with good content, first of all, and then teaching and training someone to write it well and stuff. That's fascinating. I'll spend my 15 minutes on ChatGPT today, diving down that rabbit hole.